The USC Trojans have a date with the Iowa Hawkeyes this Saturday at 12:30, and the recruiting visitor list is massive. Let's get into it right now. Hey, what's going on, Trojan family? Welcome back to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. I'm your host, Ryan Dybert. Thank you, as always, for making this show part of your day. USC had to play on a Friday last week, hence no real visitors because all the kids visiting were playing in their high school football games as the high school playoffs have just begun. So for anyone wondering why there wasn't a visitor list last week at the Coliseum, that's the reason for it. So now you get a usual Saturday game, and USC is pulling out all the stops for a massive list, just like they had at their last Saturday home game, which was all the way back the Michigan game, which essentially they got two commitments out of the variety of, the JUCO cornerback, plus they got Jaden Crowder to flip the cornerback from Santa Margarita. And they got Josiah Jefferson a few days later, the JUCO tight end from San Diego. So a very successful recruiting visit on that game, and they hope to have some similar success on Saturday. So let's get right into it. So about 23 as of now. Some more can still be added. This is Wednesday, November 12th. So, we could see this list grow, but as of now, about 23 commits. A lot of 2026 already committed players, so it's great to have them back on the Collie. We're less than a month away, at the Collie. We're less than a month away from signing day. And so, just keeping the excitement high, keeping the momentum high, as obviously a lot of schools are working to flip some of these kids, get them to visit their school, which obviously we know is USC does not really do. So, you have safety commit Madden Riordan from Sierra Canyon. He's been one of the longest tenured commits of this class. When you look at him, Brandon Lockhart, Trom Baker, ironically, they all play for the same high school at Sierra Canyon, but they've all been committed for a long time. So he will be there. He's having a fantastic senior season, and Sierra Canyon has a monster game on Friday, so in 2 days before this visit for their CIF first round playoff. Running back Sean Alston from Ohio, having a fantastic senior season. He'll be back on campus this weekend. Luke Weaver, wide receiver out at Notre Dame High School. Jamiron Tron Baker from Sierra Canyon, wide receiver. Cannon Smith, offensive lineman. He goes to Valor Christian High School out in Colorado, my old neck of the woods. When I was in high school, Valor was not built yet, but it is literally a mile from where I grew up and a mile from where I went to high school. So they are now rivals in the same division, ironically. Very good high school. They've produced Chris McCaffrey, among other really good football players. So Cannon Smith, I think, will be the next good one, we hope. Just hired Jefferson, tight end command, as I mentioned, out of JUCO in San Diego. Mark Bowman going to be there, the elite tight end. We keep talking about the excitement of seeing Bowman and Walker Lyons next year together, and it's going to feed families. It's going to be a fantastic tight end duo with those two. Jamian Winfield, defensive line from Texas. He and Scott Schrader reported this. So shout out my guy Scott. He has a playoff game in Texas Friday night. So all the ones I just listed above him, outside of Cannon Smith, which he will probably have a playoff game as well, I presume. I haven't looked at the Valor schedule, but they're usually one of the top teams in Colorado. But Winfield will have a playoff game Friday night, but confirmed to Scott that he plans on being on campus for this 12:30 p.m. kickoff. So tight turnaround. I presume he'll play his game and take I don't know if he'll do a red eye. I would presume he'll take a 5 a.m. flight, first flight out to get here and be here by, it's probably not a super long flight. You gain 2 hours in the time zone. So leaves at 6. He'll probably get here at 6:37, and then go straight to USC's campus. So, and Winfield, like I've been saying, might be one of the most underrated defensive linemen in not the USC class specifically, but in the actual nation. Dude is just going to be so good in the middle there, especially watching Coach Henney start to develop him. It's going to be a special player. Luke Wafel coming from across the country. Fantastic senior season he's had. He'll be on campus. He's a big name of teams trying to flip. Obviously, when you have the pedigree he had, the fantastic senior season at Hunt High School, but he's still the 10th rated overall edge from Rivals industry rankings. I think that number probably should be bumped up. 247 and ESPN have him a little lower at 13 and 16, where Rivals has him at 2. I think the sweet spot is probably more like 6 or 7. So, fantastic senior season. If you watch any of his tape and film, you're just like, dude is just dominating. So, going to be good. Keep that momentum. Tom Tapui lives on campus, I feel like already has a dorm room in his name. He'll be back. Samote Katawanga, another Santa Margarita. Okay, what's funny, not funny, but what's interesting is today, Rancho Santa Margarita did like a commitment day, college commitment day for all their sports. And so the 3 big scholarship commits in Katawanga, in Trent Mosley, and in Jaden Crowder, who flipped, all were like in this ceremony committing to USC. So those 3, not that there was ever any fear before, but certainly feels pretty set in stone. They'll make it all the way to the official signing day for USC. This was like a commitment ceremony. And then obviously they'll sign their letter of intent with USC on that beginning of December date. So Katawanga will be there. Edge Andrew Williams from Los Angeles will be there. Talanoa Ely, elite linebacker from Kahuku in Hawaii, will be back out in Los Angeles for this game. Obviously has the makings to be one of the next great linebackers for the USC Trojans. Sean Scott, modern day, big edge player, but USC is recruiting him as a linebacker. So him and Talanoa Ely kind of headline that linebacking class. He'll be back. And then Albert Hill from Ohio, elite cornerback, could end up being potentially the number 1 quarterback in the class. Remember, they had RJ Sermons, who was the number 1 cornerback in the class. He then reclassified to 25. Albert Hill is currently the 4th overall cornerback, and he's had an unbelievable senior season. So that can certainly improve even more. So that's the full list of the 26 commits. Hey, what's going on, LAFB family? Before we get to the show, got to tell you about my friends over at Sleeper. The number 1 sports app right now, and not just for season-long fantasy. They have daily game updates. They have a live chat that you can chat with other users. Plus, my favorite part is the daily fantasy feature, which is similar to a pick'em. You just choose 2 or more players across any sport. Choose more or less in whatever sport that may be. So if it's football, more or less touchdowns. For Jaden Mayava, if it's Makai Lemon, more or less receptions. If you're looking at the Dodgers, more or less home runs for Shohei Ohtani, really easy, and you can win real money. Right now, when you go and make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code. You see it right there on the screen, USCLAFB. That's going to give you a matched deposit bonus up to $100. You put in $100 to play with, you're going to get $100 free on top of that. You can put in 10, you get 10 free. Also, right now, our friends are offering a $20 free entry for any new signups. If you go sign up today, you'll get both those offers. You get $20 right off the bat free to play with. Plus, use that promo code USCLAFB at sign up and you'll get that match bonus as well. Go to the App Store, Google Play, download the Sleeper app today, and tell them that the USC LAFB sent you. Now, let's get on to the show. Then when we look at 27, Jaden Upshaw, really good wide receiver, 14th ranked wide receiver in the class, 6'2", 185, from Georgia. He will be on campus for this game. Quentin Hale, more local, Cathedral High School down in Cathedral High School in Los Angeles. There's Catholic Cathedral in San Diego and Cathedral up here in LA. He is the 6th ranked wide receiver in this class. He'll be on campus. A 3rd wide receiver, there's actually going to be 4 total from 27. Damani Warren from Nevada will be on campus. And Rolando Jefferson from Clovis West High School out in Fresno. I had some roommates in college at Long Beach State that went to Clovis West. So shout out Clovis West out in Fresno. And then we get a linebacker, Caden Henderson 4-star backer from Tampa, Florida, goes to Jesuit High School. He is the second-ranked linebacker in the 27 class. So this would be a really good one. I know all you guys that watch, I see comments all the time, really want to see USC honing in on linebackers. Obviously, that feels like a need. I do think it's better than what it's been this year just because it's so young. So some of these kids that, maybe just haven't fully developed yet, even in Desmond Stevens, who's been the starter all year long, but in Jaden Walker, Tamir Robinson, I know he transferred, but he's still really young. So I think they have more depth than maybe meets the eye right now, but you want to stack that position, certainly. They got 3 in the 26 class currently, as I mentioned, with Sean Scott and Talanoa Ely. If they can get someone like a Caden Henderson or Taven Epps, who we've talked about, just decommitted from Texas, I mean, those are 2 really elite linebackers that would really help this class out. So Caden Henderson, one to watch. He'll be there. That's of the 27 class. And then 328 class recruits, defensive back Phoenix Evans, cornerback Kayron Prime Williams from Santa Margarita, and finally 2028 quarterback Donovan Warren from Bel Air. And not a lot of info on him. 28 obviously takes a while, but we'll be interested to see what that development looks like. If you have a quarterback visit there's obviously some promise there. So, massive class going to be, or massive amount of visitors going to be at this game. If USC, we don't need to worry about the game day experience. It's going to be great. Obviously, what the recruiting staff does is going to be fantastic, showing these kids kind of LA and all that they can do throughout the weekend. If USC can also then secure a win, 17th ranked over 21 ranked Iowa, that's just going to bode even better. So, obviously it's going to bode well for the 26 class, staying fired up, and then we'll see how the momentum shifts with some of these 27 kids that we'll be visiting. But I think the one that I would keep an eye on the most, and there's not a ton of momentum right now that I know of, but Caden Henderson, that Florida linebacker, that's really one that you want to kind of set your sights on if they can start adding some more linebacker talent to these future recruiting classes. So that's it. That's the video list right now. If there's any additions, I will do another video or add it just in our message board. Obviously, you can find our message board at LAFBnetwork.com. Just go to the forum tab in the menu. You can check it out there. It's easy to digest. And I'm about to head to practice right now. We'll talk to Coach Danton Lynn. Defensive players, I will be most likely in the Dairu Dojo, my car, after practice with a quick recap of everything that went down. So that'll probably be up, around 6:30-ish. And then at 7, Tim Prangley and the Madman live, the Conquest Call-In Show, taking your calls. So make sure to call in. Obviously, we got Iowa coming up. I think a big story right now that I'm sure they'll touch on is this kind of equity deal with the Big Ten, and USC and Michigan are the 2 standing against it, kind of what that looks like. So if you have comments on that, bring your phone calls there, and I'm sure they'd love to discuss that. So lots to talk about, as always, with this USC Trojans team. Last thing I'll say is I've never done this, so it's going to be new, but I'm going to start doing some USC basketball coverage, men's and women's. We'll have, obviously, coverage on LAFBnetwork.com. But I'm going to start doing some videos here, see how they do. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you would really enjoy seeing some, obviously I'm not going to do it all lumped together. There'll be separate videos. But if you would enjoy some basketball coverage, that's not going to take anything away from the football coverage. We'll have still full football coverage, including full recruiting coverage throughout the offseason. So none of that is changing. But in addition to what we do daily here, going to start adding some men's and women's basketball coverage. So just let me know what you think. I mean, if y'all hate that, maybe I'll just stick to football. But if that would be something that would, make USC LAFB your one-stop shop for all things USC, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to accomplish. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out. Become a member if you want to help us out more financially. That's a huge thank you to us. Plus, you get some merchandise perks. I got some new USC merch dropping here soon. So you'll get discounts on that. Or you can just buy some right now. If you just look down on the channel, we got the store linked. Or go to LAFBnetwork.com and go to the shop. But thank you all. Appreciate it. I got to get out of here and head to campus. Go through that 110 teeth of downtown. So wish me luck. But talk to you guys all again tonight. As always, fight on.